Welcome guys, we are looking at body cavities and the divisions of the abdominal cavity in this video. So let's start with body cavities. The body cavities are grouped under two major compartments. We have the ventral and the dorsal. So we are starting with the ventral cavity, which is the anterior part of the body. The ventral cavity is made up of the thoracic cavity and the abdominopelvic cavity. The thoracic cavity houses the lungs, the heart, and the esophagus. Now let's move on to the abdominopelvic cavity. It can further be divided into two. We have the abdominal cavity and the pelvic cavity. The abdominal cavity and the pelvic cavity contains the digestive system and the reproductive system respectively. Also, organs like the spleen, kidneys can be seen or can be found in the abdominal cavity. The thoracic cavity and the abdominal cavity are separated by the diaphragm. The diaphragm plays a major role in mechanism of breathing, so keep that one in mind. Alright, so we are moving on to dorsal cavity. That's the posterior part of the body, and then it is made up of the cranial cavity and the spinal cavity. So the cranial cavity houses the brain and the meninges. That's the dura mater, pia mater, and arachnoid. The spinal cavity covers, or it houses, the spinal cord. The brain and the spinal cord swim in the cerebrospinal fluid, which acts as a cushion or shock absorber. The body cavities do not only house the vital organs, but also provide some kind of protection for these organs. This diagram shows all the cavities that I've mentioned. The pelvic cavity, which houses the reproductive organs. The abdominal cavity houses the digestive organs, the spleen, and the kidneys. And then the diaphragm, which separates the thoracic cavity from the abdominal cavity. And the thoracic cavity itself. The cranial cavity, which houses the brain and the meninges. And then the spinal cavity. Now let's talk about anatomical planes. They are used in diagnostic imaging, and it is very important for us to talk about it. We have three anatomical planes, and they are sagittal plane, coronal plane, and transverse plane. Now the sagittal plane, it divides the body into right and left. That's two lateral parts. We have mid-sagittal under the sagittal plane, and this plane divides the body into two equal lateral parts. It runs through the middle line of the body. Now let's talk about the coronal plane. This plane divides the body into anterior and posterior, that is front and back. And now the last plane, which is transverse plane. It divides the body into superior and inferior, that is up and down. Now, let's move on to the divisions of the abdominal cavity. The abdominal cavity is divided into 4 quadrants and 9 regions. The diagram here shows the 4 quadrants. We have left upper quadrant, and then the right upper quadrant. We have left lower quadrant and right lower quadrant. We move on to the regions, which is 9. So this diagram also shows the 9 regions of the abdominal cavity. We have left hypochondriac region, the epigastric region, the right hypochondriac region. We have right lumbar region, left iliac or inguinal region. We have the hypogastric region. We have left iliac or inguinal region, and also left lumbar region. And the last of it all is the umbilical region, the middle part of the diagram. Okay, now we are going to look at some of the organs that can be found in the various quadrants. So we will start with right upper quadrant. The gallbladder, liver, and the right kidney can be found at the right upper quadrant. The left upper quadrant contains the spleen, stomach, part of the liver, and the left kidney. The right lower quadrant contains the appendix, some part of the small intestines, and then ascending colon. And the last quadrant, which is the left lower quadrant, contains the sigmoid colon, ovaries in female, and descending colon. Please make sure you subscribe for more educational content like this, and you can share your challenging topic with me for similar videos. Thanks for watching, and this is Bigness.